What a thoughtful, beautiful message in our series on resurrection hope. John Orozco, thanks for being here. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
That was a great message.
Thank you.
Yeah. For those who haven't seen it, just I'd say rewind and go back. And that's an excellent message. One of the things I got out of it is that you talked about how hopelessness can narrow your view. I really like that.
Yeah.
Hopelessness narrows your view. I can only imagine that there's people who've joined us today, who are right there on the other side of this camera, who are stuck right now. What's maybe one practical way that they can expand their view again, even if they don't feel it?
Man, I mean, I hope you have people around you who can remind you of moments in life that are full of joy and remind you that there are times that are going to be difficult and rough. I deal with this all the time. I just had that the other day where I had a great Easter and then the next day just like problem after problem, thing after thing, and suddenly all of my life collapsed down to my problem. But I mean, fortunately there are people in my life who will quickly tell me about something good that's happening and just remind me that life is more than the suffering or the struggle. And so get around people who smile a lot, get around people who are really good at recalling good moments, good memories, because there's just something about remembering and allowing those things to inform our moods that can flip a day, even though circumstances might not change. The ability to recall good times is just medicine.
But that's so much easier to do with other people there.
Yeah, you have other people
remember the story. You have to tell the story. You have to,
Yeah, it's easier to do with other people. It's possible by yourself, but that's a struggle. So generally, when I'm in those moments, there does come a point where I have to snap myself out of it.
Now, in community, I think I can get into that narrow view as well, but being like our Thursday night group online, those smiling faces and those people pull you out of that. I think Jesus through them, but it does pull you out of that narrowness that where you just stop seeing the truth.
Yeah, because empathy works multiple ways. A lot of times you think about empathy in terms of you empathize with somebody who's struggling. But we've been given this innate capacity to empathize with joy too. And so when you are in a community with people and you're just like reminding me of some hope-filled situation or good things, and I can empathize with that too, and that helps to pull me out.
Ooh, that's a whole other side of empathy.
Yeah.
That's really good. At Cornerstone also we ask, what does love require of us in every situation? How does remembering our own hope story, the story of hope in us, that's deep in us, already there, how does it help us love people who might have felt like they've lost all hope?
Man.
Speaking of empathy.
Because there's a million reasons to not have hope. And there's a million reasons to not be the person who steps into a room where everyone around you is despondent and feeling like there is no reason to hope. And for us, the story that we carry, it really does matter. And this is why Jesus was disappointed with these two in some ways. Like, hey, you know the story and there should be hope within you. You should be carrying that story because life is going to be difficult and challenging and tough. I know it's going to be. And one of the things that's going to help you move through situations that are going to be paralyzing and fill you with fear and worry is going to be the story that you tell yourself that you carry.
Yes.
And in many ways, those stories, they can change a room. You can elevate a room by the story that you carry.
I believe that.
Even in spite of your own challenges. I mean, as a dad, I think about all the times when my mood affects my house so often. If I choose, even though I've had a tough day, to like immediately, I just choose joy. So at the dinner table, I'll just do some rap thing, you know what I mean? And the kids will laugh, whatever. And then all of a sudden the mood in the house, even though I didn't have it within me.
They're super annoyed at you, but also.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I mean, we're having a bad day, but Dad's like rapping at the table, the prayer, and having fun. And it just elevates the room. And there are so many moments where we're going to, as Christ followers step into.
Let me just say on behalf of the church, how much we wouldn't give to have you rap at our table.
Oh man,
rap the prayer, right? Am I right?
It is awful, and I will not do that here. but it just there is something about hey, I'm committing to a story of hope and positivity, and I see it in my family where it elevates the room. And I've had other people, even when I've been going through things that I know they were going through difficult situations, but they've had this like praise God attitude anyways, and I know that there's something bigger, and they've lifted me up just with their infectious joy.
That's really cool.
Because of the empathy thing.
Yes.
I want to empathize with your joy.
Well, cast some vision for us, okay, before we go.
Yeah.
Cast some vision for us. You said that remembering God's bigger story reignites hope in us, right? Now, if everyone who hears us today, everyone in our whole church, really lived that out, and remembering and carrying that hope in our everyday, what kind of impact do you think we could have on the town that we live in, on the world that we live in?
Wow. It's unnatural. It's an unnatural impact, because when the watching world sees somebody who should be full of despair choose joy anyways, I can't even, I don't understand it. And so there are songs that do that for me. And like my encouragement is, you know what happens to you when you listen to a song and it just kind of gets in you. And there's a song that we sang on Easter called Center, and all of it was about how Jesus is at the center and all of my life is going to be for your glory. And I sing that, my life for your glory. And there's just something in me that wants to live that out. And I know that it affects the people who are around me as they see me living with hope. And so my encouragement is to do the same. If you don't have a person, maybe it's a song who reminds you of who God is.
People in our community share songs all the time, so I totally, I agree with that. Well, this week, when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel discouraged, or when you start to believe, actually, the lie that hope is out of reach for you, I want you to do just one simple thing. I want you to pause. I want you to remember. Take, 60 seconds to stop, to smile, to breathe, and then to recall a moment, big or small, when God showed up for you. I used to call it a God sighting in your day. Maybe it was a prayer that was answered, or a door that opened up, or a relationship that's being restored, or a moment of unexpected peace in chaos, right? I don't want you to write it down, or I want you to speak it loud. I want you to share it with somebody if you can, because remembrance fans the flame of hope. Imagine what could happen if we as a church, if we became the kind of people who chose to live life from the full story instead of getting stuck in the hard chapters. Imagine how different our homes and our workplaces, our friendships would look if we became people who refused to let the moment we're in define the whole story that we're living. Our circumstances may not change overnight, I can't promise that, but our hearts would start to burn with the resilient hope that John just talked about, that no diagnosis, that no setback, no broken expectation could ever take away. So let's be those people, and let's remember, and let's live like hope has always been with us, because Jesus has always been with us. So thanks for being here. I hope to see you again next time.